Manica Čelofiga,
Yes.
welcome to our podcast.
Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you for being here. Manica, you are intuitive business coach with a degree in economic sciences in the areas of finances and management, trained by Intuition Wisdom Institute. You are merging conventional strategies with metaphysical information to empower businesses, their owners, managers to become more authentic and sustainable.
Yes, please.
Okay, that is something really new
Load
for
of
us.
information.
Yeah, a lot of information. Okay, so today we would like to introduce this part and the part of you before this was your life. This became your life. So, where would you like to start?
Phew. Where is the beginning and where is the end?
Yes.
Come on. Well, maybe let's start at the end.
Okay.
What I'm doing now,
Okay.
because now it's more empowering than it was before, and maybe why now it's different than it was before, because I basically lost meaning. I had the goal, my business goal was to become a head of marketing, because it's creative, it's fun. I always said I'm coming to play to my job. But every time I was in a certain firm as an employee, I came to some, I will not say a glass ceiling, but yeah, something like that. They were not able to give me anything that I wanted. And this loss of meaning is very active now with many employees. But this happened to me in 2013-14, and I achieved my goals, and then it was like you drop in some empty space, and nothing is worth my attention. Actually, because I was like climbing on my ladder of career, my kids were like going down. I was going up, they were going down, and I said, okay, what will be my legacy here? And I didn't like that. And basically, I just quit. I quit because I was able to, because I have the family, I have a partner, so he was covering my back. But that did not help my ego to strive all the time to be financially independent. And although my soul was like pulling me to my life mission, I still wanted to prove myself. So what I found through my work is that you always have to keep balance with the material world, with the solid facts, and then be connected to this true self of you, not some past identity that was giving you all the hiccups possible. So yeah, I wanted to that was crazy at the beginning, because I thought I wanted something, but my soul was doing something else, and I achieved like massive improvement of my being. But on the other hand, because my mind set some, like, let's say, tangible goals, which I did not achieve, I had this perspective of myself as someone who is underachiever from now on. But now when I look back, oh my God, what I did. It was a pure blessing of the improvement of the raise of my consciousness, and the impact that I feel I have today on my children, on my clients. The things that I'm changing, it was really worth the effort. that was like to said, how do you say, in a small, the word of the effort that was like huge, but you thought it was like
You can say it in
worth
Slovenian.
nothing. Yeah.
No.
Whatever.
Yeah.
So it was worth it.
So this process, get rid of your, let's say, ego or your status. This is, I guess, hard because I did this like 1 year ago,
Oh,
going
yeah.
through this process, and now I'm really calm and happy that I did this because now I'm open and ready for my soul story.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And although it's controversial because you have such a strong identity that you build for 40 years, basically. What to do with that? What to do with that? And you think, well, what? I was a marketing, head of marketing. What? I was a salesman. I was a project manager. I was like, and now you are intuitive coach for businesses, for business people. What has one to do with other? But it has a lot to do with other, and it's a process.
So
it's a journey.
Yeah. Okay, so let's say I come to you as a client, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm a business owner.
Okay.
Okay. So how I come to you and say, okay, Manica, how can you help me with my business? What is the first step? I mean, if it's not a business secret, right? So tell me the way
No,
I mean, I don't know, like some people have like they're careful about saying, but like just I come to you and you say, okay, what's next? First step.
I can answer that with explaining what's the difference between business coaching and intuitive business coaching.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the difference is that I intuitively sense which area of your life has to be managed right now so you can make a breakthrough in a very short time. So the apple that is ready to take it off of a tree.
Okay, so also it means that my personal life is not just the business life. Right?
There is no personal and business life.
Yeah, I understand, but the business coaching is about they just go into the process of businesses and they try to improve the business. But here is also improving people, right? Person.
Yes. I have a colleague in United States and she's making excellent progress with her client, and her client said to her after 2-3 months when she was really raising her figures and numbers, she said, okay, but when will we work on my business? But are you not satisfied with your results? Yeah, but I would like to work on my business. That's how I work. Okay. So I do not decide, some framework of business knowledge does not decide where will I start. I start where your higher self is showing me that it has this acute situation that needs to be resolved, the blockage that is there, and but basically what I do, what is, for example, my niche that I am, for example, let's say, I mastered, is that I put you in your true self. So you are lost in your identity, in what others think of you. You are lost in what you should be, what books are writing, what your guru, business guru, is saying that works, what 100%. But we are now in times where you have to intuitively reframe everything on you. There is no rules that apply to you right now here for this intention if you don't feel it.
maybe when you say intuitively, I'm listening for my whole life from the other people who listen to your intuition, and I said, okay, I would, but I just don't feel it. I don't understand. I understand, but I don't get it. I don't know how to. So you do this. You're doing this, but do you have any abilities other than common people, let's say, or that you are able to do it? How this process is, or you just know it?
Well, I did the training, so that the training is basically taught me how to see my limiting beliefs, subconscious, conscious limiting beliefs, and see what is my basically mind lie, that someone says that it's intuition, and what is actually the true information that comes from my soul space, and there from the field of intuitive information that apply to me. So if I am in my mind, if I don't resonate with whole of my body and my heart center and all my centers and gut center, if I don't feel information with all my being, I cannot speak of intuition. Because only a gut feeling, there is so much fear, there is so much history, there is so much evolution of the human race that if you are just applying to the mind or just the emotional feeling, so many times I hear people that work with energies that say, I don't feel this person, he doesn't have the right energy. Well, check it again. Maybe you don't like something about this person because you have this limiting belief about how someone should be. Just check it out. Just give it a time. Just feel it a little bit more
Holistically.
Yes, more with whole of your being, not just with your sometimes wishes. I wish. Yeah.
So basically, you upgraded yourself to the level you are now, or we are improving every day. Yeah, that's clear.
Every day, yeah.
But before you started, you were not probably so whole and open. How would you say?
Well,
because I'm really trying to understand and show to the people that maybe everybody of us has a potential to become.
Everybody. That's like, this is why they say a lot of people say that intuition is the sixth sense. Yeah. We know we have lots of senses, but because sixth sense, because it's one of the five, one of the six. It's the basic sense, and we were made to be intuitive. This is why we have those centers in brain and in through the bodies. This is why one time a certain master said a very good sentence. What is intuition? Is when your basic five senses are heightened. So you bring your sensibility to the next level. This is something that we're scared of, because I was very sensible as a child. I was very emotional. And every goal that I set, and I turned left and right, and I was like really angry. So I started to train karate. So I would be focused, disciplined, sharp. But again, you know how Bruce Lee says, be a water. So be sensible, be agile, be flexible, but at the same time be like focused, narrowed. And this is where I then, through the martial arts, I basically found the opposite. And today I'm running like this Zoom meetings with everyone who wants to come. It's like Monday paradox, because everything is a paradox at the end. So I went to train martial arts, so I would be tough, but they taught me how to be gentle, how to be fluid, how to be tough when it's needed. But basically, most of the time, we should be accepting, like allowing things. And also on the institute, when they train you how to feel intuition, how to allow information to come. Yes, you have to be in the state of allowing, and this is scary for most of people. And this is why when I work with people, I just bring in the safe space in which they really feel relaxed. And then you don't need identity. So when you don't need identity, oh my God, you become real. You become real you, and then you see, oh my God, I'm beautiful. I'm freaking beautiful. I'm not like this idiot, or because mind is negative. Mind is almost always analyzing, always combining information, always comparing to others. And when we are in the mind, we are really negative. This is why they talk about.
And when you have past, I don't know, failures or whatever, and you go again to do that, then you're like, oh, it's gonna be the same. Because like I'm right on that path again in my business now, so I'm like really struggling right now, like the last 3 weeks for the new business venture we're doing it. So I'm like in my past, like, oh fuck, you tried so many fucking times, now it's why is now gonna be different? So like I had to, like in the last 3 weeks, had a lot of battles with myself, like, okay, you know what, you have right people beside, you know, you have like so many experience, like, so I had to train my mind, like, shut the fuck up, dude, just go, like, just go. But it's like every day it's like, oh, okay, everything's going well, and then like 10 minutes later it's like, no, you're gonna fail again. Like, no, it's gonna be okay, and it's like this, right?
Yeah, you feel like you're schizo.
Yeah, like it's like literally last 3 weeks is like, no, I shouldn't do that.
I'm this, I'm this, no.
Exactly, exactly. And it's like, it's, oh shit, like it's really a problem, because the past comes and it's like, but that, I think that's the difference between success and failure. You don't allow it, and still, even if you're afraid, you still go, you still do it, right? But you need to learn. You need to learn on your previous mistakes, of course.
Yeah, and the mind is always whether in the past or in the future.
Yeah.
And mindfulness is the basic tool of intuition. So there is no intuition without mindfulness, and there is no intuition without heart and brain coherence. And why I'm showing this right now is because this is our strongest brain. There is more neuron connections here than here, and the HeartMath Institute that we all know, they measure that every decision that you make starts here, and in 5-6 seconds it's here. So I always say brain is like motherboard. You know, the lights are just showing the results, but everything comes from here, and then it goes. This is why some good business decisions, every good businessman is intuitive, whether he knows it or not. But it's good to know and to master it more. It's not just for the business, for the decisions, but it's very good to enjoy intuition.
My biggest mistakes, I don't know if it's the right word in business, in my past, were when I didn't listen to my intuition. Because of all the different reasons for that. My ego, or like, oh no, it's gonna work it out, whatever reason was. I knew at that point when that intuition came, was like, you should walk away. But for whatever reason I didn't, and then I paid a price so much later. But at that moment, when the red light came here and like, go away from this, like, it's like, and like, but I had some experience in past months where my intuition just went, just remove yourself from this group of people, like just get out, like just like I literally became sick, like I almost vomited, and I was like, yeah, that's it, and I just walked away from it. So it's like, okay, you know, I learned something.
So you start to listen your
I did before. It's just like now I'm talking about extreme cases, like really extreme cases where I was like, intuition told me like, this is not going to work out, right? But it was like early stages of my business path, and it was like, my ego was like, no, you know, like I had this mindset, you started something, finish it, right? And I had to learn not to like that. Also, the business like is like, you need to learn when to stop or go in a different direction. Not just that like, okay, I'm going from A to going to B for, or I'm gonna go through the wall for that, like just because I decided, right? Because I set up a goal. So that my mindset was like, okay, if I start something, I have to finish. And I had to learn that, okay, sometimes it's okay, and sometimes you have to stop or go a different direction so you don't crash over there, right? So yeah, I can relate with that a lot.
And we have this mindset that everything has to be okay. So the only experience that I have, if it has great results, that is the best experience I can have. What is life teaching us? That like the worst experience gave you so much knowledge that you really did like quantum leap in the next few weeks because of it. But you crashed. You crashed financially, you crashed personally, your image was broken. Great. Build the better one.
Your ego was hurt.
Your ego, it's okay. It's okay. This ego is your past.
Yeah,
Now
exactly.
build
Yeah.
your ego around your shit, so and it's gonna be okay. But yeah.
So when I checked what you're doing on your website, it crosses my mind you are working with businesses, with business owners. And today we see a lot of companies struggling, not coming further or higher. The working environment is really not good. People are not satisfied. People are asking themselves what I'm doing here, etc. Probably because everything is going and doing on the same way, the same always and always and always. So no change. So what do you think it's the cause of this, that there is no move forward or higher? Basically, this is what you're doing with your clients.
Yeah.
So
That's our free will. You can't force that. Most important are people that have a lot of influence. So, you know, where the fish stinks. But it's all about awareness. It's all about how aware are these people what they're really doing, how short-sighted they are, and in the which level of their being they are operating. So if they are operating on this working level, in this material level, in this
fear level.
Absolutely, the basic instincts. You have this evolutionary model of business where the lowest evolution level is a working environment. So work must be done no matter how, no matter, you just gotta do it. You basically gotta be a robot. And then it's a thinking company, so it's a learning company. So we learn from our mistakes. We stop, we look back, what we can improve. So the quality becomes interesting, the optimization becomes interesting. Then you have the next level of the evolution where there is innovative and thinking organizations. They think they start to think for themselves, so they start changing. And then the highest level is intuitive organization, where you basically feel where the flow goes of the business, where what's happening to the people, and you solve things as you go, and you have this gentle power inside the organization. This is science fiction, by the way.
No, I really like it.
Yeah, but there are few companies in the world that are doing like this, but most of, if we orient on the average, companies are from the first and to the second level. So like in Slovenia, it's like 85% of companies, it's on the level of working environment. So there is no self-awareness of what there could be. I could say there is not enough knowledge, but when do I let in the knowledge?
Yes.
When my consciousness is high
It's
enough.
high enough.
I can hear this knowledge. I can read 100 books of how to and what has been done. Let's do the same. But if you're not working on yourself personally, you cannot lead that kind of company. And I try to work only with employees, but they just left the company then. And that's not good. So I changed the strategy.
So like, oh, we're not gonna hire her again.
No, she's not right for us. But if there is sincere intention of the leadership that they want to develop, they can do so much. And the time is right.
True.
Because you know,
times are changing
time
fast.
is perfect for something like that, because all anxiety in companies, all burnout, that's just result of us being too on this material level of existing and ignoring emotions.
Yes.
What my coaching showed me, that through resolving the emotion, you have the upgraded business model at the back in the field of informations. Because, and why, this is very interesting, why is like business model at the back of the personal development of employee or leadership? Because the meaning of existence of any business is us.
True.
Are we?
Should be.
Not the business, not the product. The product is a result, is a result of my creativity, of my expression, of who I am. It's my playground, the best. If this product serves people even better, in a good way, not like, you know, stuff we don't need. But so if we develop ourselves through the business, we are living the business.
Yeah, they say it's like you don't build the business, but you build people, and then the business grows itself.
Yeah, we heard so many.
There are so many of these sayings.
Yeah, so many business gurus that say investing in people brings back 10 times financial result, and they still don't do it.
Yeah. But like, I think, like, I don't know, I mean, living abroad and being part of international, dealing with people from States, Asia, you name it, Europe, right? So I saw different looks and the way they deal with people. But I think in Slovenia, in my opinion, is like a generational problem, because I think that the older firms or companies are run by people that grew up in different times, and they have still that old mentality. So now the new generations are coming, are more adopting new way, let's say, more friendly company. If that's correct, maybe like or maybe that IT, you know, like they have like, I don't know, they have like kitchen inside, they have like sports, like it's much more like, you know, friendly,
it's more relaxed.
More relaxed, right? In one way, right?
Yeah.
That is good, but I don't know. What's your opinion about that? So
150 years ago, the quantum physics was like proved, but our minds are still in Newtonian principles, in the linear thinking. So this is so hard to get out from the subconscious mind if you are not working on subconscious mind. If you do it, I say, so it's the difference between working like they used to, and my opinion is, if Newton had this technology today, he wouldn't say those things.
Yeah.
So we have to give him a credit, you know, with his tools that he had at disposal. He just defined the material level. But today, when you have all those tools and instruments and technology, you just can't shut your eyes anymore. And a lot of science is doing still exactly that. They just don't want to see.
Okay, so but now we get into a different problem right now. Okay, so we can talk about this, why science doing this. It's
It's a broad.
It's a really like broad, another 2-hour conversation just about.
But if I go back then to this young
he should
companies.
listen more Nikola Tesla, I guess.
Definitely, he's the guy.
He's the guy. Yeah.
And if you go back to this young companies, yeah, okay, it's relaxed, it's colorful, but you still have this.
Same problem.
We economists say Taylorism, because Taylor was the first one who built this model of planning, organizing, controlling, and stuff like that. This lives in every executive right now. And he has to fight with that in a way that, okay, I was brought up like that, but because what I noticed is when the going gets tough, you go back to the autopilot. What's inside you, those 150 years old knowledge that they are still teaching at the faculty and secondary schools. So when the going gets tough, those companies become sane if they're not working on themselves personally.
Okay.
So
It's
they
just-
have to be aware that they are starting subconscious program again, and you cannot do this if you are not working on yourself prior.
No, because autopilot is autopilot. And
Yes.
It's okay. I have to have some
it's
stuff on
certain
autopilot because I will lose all my
moments,
energy for just taking my spoon to my mouth. But I have to. I lost my silver line.
You have to work on yourself.
Yeah. When you go to autopilot, it's what you have back there.
Back there, yeah.
It comes out. So if I store back there truth, the real technology comes out because I am the technology. So if I upgrade myself, I am ready for here and now. Otherwise, I'm obsolete. And most of us or them is obsolete, running the companies the way they were doing it hundreds of years ago.
So basically you're doing this change.
Yeah, that's my passion because I don't know if you two definitely noticed, but we are at least I believe, at the edge of extinction. So and the biggest influence are multinational companies, are people that run this conglomerates. And they have. I don't believe in witch hunt because now it's time when we work together. Now it's time when we forgive ourselves and others. Okay, you were a bad guy till now. It's just important what you do from now on. Let's not go back. That's the mind stuff. I'm going back. I'm thinking about all the horrors that can happen in the future. Let's be here. Let's be friends. Let's see if we can do it differently.
Yeah.
And organically.
Yeah, but in my opinion, in my opinion, there's like I think the greed, control, and other things that are doing it. Um, uh, it's I think it's impossible to work together because that's not the agenda. So I believe what you just said is like there will be like two groups of people, and when two different worlds will create, and the people that will accept and do the work, like you mentioned, you're doing for the companies or just doing it on themselves and go to maybe spiritual world more or whatever expression they like for that. For that, you know, we will go from 3D to 4D to 5D and so on, so on, so on. But the energy of the earth right now and all the things that are happening globally are just too strong, so the change will happen. It's just like, do you recognize it and do something about it for yourself or not? I think that like, I think those, I don't believe, because like example BlackRock, I just read, I don't know, they own Ukraine now. It's like they own everything in Ukraine right now. Like, and they like own 85% of, I don't know, everything in the world. And what's the other two, whatever they are. I mean, people that know what they're talking about, they know the companies we're talking about. But from my I don't think it's just like you need to work on yourself, raise your energy, and with raising your energy, you will raise energy of your environment, and then you go so on, so on, so on. So I know that's my opinion. So, but on this level of companies, yeah, I mean, people are so unhappy right now that just like they come back home and they're like all washed and no energy and stuff like that.
Yeah, but there is also like this belief that
They have to.
happiness, it comes in like bits and pieces. It's not the goal to be happy, it's the goal to have money.
Yeah, and we don't live in the moment, yeah, and we always think, I will make this and then it will happen on, and then I will get it, I will become.
Yeah.
And this means that this is gonna never happen, and
Exactly.
that I'm not
Frustrated,
happy, frustration,
like,
etc. So the happiness is basically living in the moment, being as much you can yourself.
Yeah,
Theoretically.
I say people many times, just zoom in and zoom out. just see the bits and pieces. Just look at your hand, look at your face in a mirror, look at your eyes, look at how magnificent a human being is. Then you can zoom in the, I don't know, caterpillar, whatever. You know, it's so much beauty in the moment. And then you zoom out and you see those mountains and you see the sky and the angry weather. And
Yeah, but what you just said is like, okay, so you, like when you're born, right? So, and then your parents tell you, your environment tells you, the media tells you what you should be, what you shouldn't be, what is happiness, what is not, right? Then you have pressure of parents. I mean, like I lived in Asia and like, especially there, it's like, I mean, it's everywhere, right? So like, example, your father is a doctor, and if he's not open, like, oh, you should be a doctor, right? And the person, the daughter, son becomes a doctor. And like then it's like 35 and like, oh shit, why I didn't take a chance and like do something about it because I want to be an artist, example, right? But because of the pressure of parents,
Environment, yeah.
right, or environment, now like, okay, he's 35, and some people never wake or do the change, and like, so we are programmed from the beginning, and then it's like, oh, you know, you need all this stuff, you need all this, you know, I'm not saying the money is not important, it's super important to some level, right? And it's super important, and more you have it, it's better, but if you know what you're doing with it, and you know how many cars do you actually need, like, or something like that, if you don't go to extremes, that's my opinion. But like, if you need to go against your family, you need to go against the environment, your friends. You need to go against everybody if you really, truly, you want to be yourself. Because this is, for me, this is my personal experience, my personal view, okay? I'm not saying that's for everybody. But like, you have to go sometimes against everybody, tell them, go fuck yourself, and just fucking do it. If you really want to do what you want to do. Like, look, imagine a family where your father is super loyal, right? Successful, known, right? And your mother also. And they have this big firm. And everybody knows them. They're like, oh my God, and what's or not, and you grew up like this. And you want to be a singer. Or you want to be like, I don't know, a yoga teacher. Huh? What do they say?
No go.
Oh, what other people will think about it?
They will start talking to you after like 20 years again.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are pressures, but I want to bring in a little bit different perspective, because this is very frustrating perspective.
Oh, it is. I'm just.
Although
yeah.
it is frustrating, of course,
Yeah.
it's hard. It's hard.
Yeah.
Like time management that you want to do is actually pain management, because constantly you are like have these walls of social, let's say, dilemma. But what I wanted to bring in is that if we have this awareness that everything is constructed, universe is constructed, so there is this intelligence that created the universe is. So everything has its meaning. So when I'm born, the construct of my life is kind of predestined, and now I have this free will. But I do have to come to this awareness that I'm like a freaking amazing being, and that I actually have this high intelligence in me. So I'm very intelligent being. So yeah, it's tough situation, but I can do it. So, but do you know that when you're a child? You don't. So it's hard. Yeah, it's hard. But having this awareness that we are bringing now to the listeners, it's really, really important to really know how genius being we are. And those capabilities that we have, no one can stop that. Like the nature. When nature starts talking, you can't stop the volcano, you can't stop the floods, you can't stop the wind, you can't stop the fire. When it decides to do something, you can do a little. But, and I'm part of this intelligence, this universal intelligence. So, what I noticed in my life, the whole of my life, I was building confidence in myself. Because without confidence, you really can't break out of this prison.
No, you can't.
And that's so, so important. And this is basically what Intuition Wisdom Institute in Australia gave me. Their mission, actually, the mission of this institution is to bring you self-belief. So you start believing in your magnificence. And every time that someone is afraid of you, what he does, like, it shuts you down. So when someone tries to shut you down, then you know that you're on the right way. Just believe it. Yeah.
That's powerful. Oh,
Yeah.
thanks for this. Yes.
Yeah, it's
Because so
I'm looking back on my path, yeah, and there was several situations like that, and now when you were saying this, I'm actually seeing them and said, wow, that was great. At that time I didn't thought like that, but
yeah.
it is true. So building self-confidence is like first brick.
For a long time I was afraid to come out with this wisdom that's because I was like, oh, they're gonna kill me. I'm over. Of course, connected with all my past lives that I was terminated because of that. But it's just a physical body. You go back into the universe and the clarity comes in. So a lot of our answers are answers after life. So this is the wisdom from almost 50-year-old girl, but you know, when I was younger I didn't have this knowledge, and I think it's really important for us to talk about that so the young people know it. I have special programs for like students because they are waking up like massively. When we are 16 years old, we are like whole built personality today, and many of them are waking up much earlier than in these late years when I don't know, 150 years ago I was a dead woman. I no longer cease to exist in my physical body, and also this interesting Harvard psychologist who basically built the model of raising your consciousness, like human development. Robert Keegan.
Okay.
He actually said, why today are we like so older? Why do we live so long? And okay, it's this material explanation, because of the medicine, because of I have really specific it's not intended to say, so I won't say that, but why we're living longer, what he said is that maybe is because we have to figure out why are we so self-destructive. So because you know, when you are like 40 and 50 years old, you start thinking about that stuff. Not before. Before you are just gaining this physical experience of action, of doing stuff, of experiencing all the sensations, and then, you know, then you start feeling the consequences. And you want to bring this wisdom to your children. So, yeah, although, you know, the history writings are saying that people lived a lot of centuries, not just 50 years. This is like very young history. And I do believe personally in the fall of consciousness. The fall of consciousness. That we were higher consciousness people than we are today.
We were,
So, but...
Well, can I ask you, about this? Like, because we have the same belief about we live longer. What is your belief? Why we only live amount? Because I mean, it's proven, or there's a lot of writing about it. So we can live much longer, or we can live forever, or we can live forever. Plus, we have 4,000 abilities that we are not aware of it, like teleportation, telekinesis, what are any others? I forgot about them now. But we have also. But in your opinion, why that happened? From your knowledge, if you want to go there.
Well, why we don't live longer today, or why
what was the
reason?
The reason, that happened, because from my knowledge, they change our DNA.
definitely there are a lot of experiments that are done on human race that are proven.
Yeah.
There are giants in Africa that were found. So if I connect my explanation with my experience, that was very down to earth from this COVID situation. I wanted. I didn't catch the COVID, and my daughters did. And I was like, okay, give it to me so I will have this document so I can go around. And I catch the COVID because I asked for it. And it hit my back. So I had I didn't have this general symptoms, but it hit my back. And I was in so much pain that my belief that wasn't conscious so strongly came out, and it was, if I'm in so much pain, only the pill and the doctor know how to resolve that. And I was like, what? With all your knowledge, with all your experience, you are screaming for that. And so extreme situations, and also what Harvard scientists proven is that more you are rich, less empathic you are. What that means, that more there is some development, more there is richness, a weaker person you become.
Oh yeah, I know.
And then the sledgehammer comes. Wake up. And I think that we're repeating the history. And when will we awaken enough not to repeat that? So the greed will not be our primary
goal or
driver.
Drive, yes.
What you're talking about, it's saying the hard times make hard people or strong people, and good times make weak people, and then so the society goes
around
up, and then everybody's rich, so everybody relaxes. You become weak, and then we go up, and we go
and the weak human creates bad times.
Exactly. That's what you're talking about.
Weak people create bad times.
Yeah.
And
so where we are at the moment. So we are going down.
Is it obvious?
Because so men, right? Men now in their 20s, they have testosterone, 50 years. Men in their 70s. Okay. So now we come through the products, through food, through good times.
Oh my God! I just got this information that I'm gonna share right now, and they made a research that because the contraceptives.
Pills, so you don't
birth pills.
Birth control pills
that women take, and then when they urinate, the water that comes to the our
toilet
supplies of water after it goes to the river and etc.
Right about
that. And the water we drink today, it lowers the testosterone of the man because of all the hormones that go into the water, because girls are using that, and let's just
but that's also part of the plan to make weak men. I think in feminism, how do you say as a woman that word feminism?
That's my favorite topic also.
Okay.
First, I would like to share the perspective on they want it to be like this. So
Who is then? What is this?
yeah, it's
Oh, yeah,
not
okay, I
a
understand.
purpose for us to be concentrated that there is a big bad wolf outside, so we
Yeah,
have
yeah,
this
yeah,
enemy. It's okay. It's a male principle. There is a hostile country, and we are attacked, so we are at war. What we have to be aware, it's a construct, and we said yes, we wanted that construct, so we will awake. Because more you suppress some human being, more he becomes awakened. So maybe that's not so bad, although it's awful. But yeah, looking at the feminism, I'm really proud of the first women that were fighting for women's rights, because as a woman in this life, I feel how intense it is to have zero worth. You were not registered as a human being in 1900.
Yeah.
Even a male African American got the voting rights before a woman. So it was as a foreigner, if I say so. So I kudos to all these women. But everything goes with the territory and with the time. We cannot copy paste that into modern era, because today I was one of those male women as leading teams and being in male energy, and it was bad for me, it was bad for everyone else, because something's missing, something is off. Woman has to be a woman and man has to be a man. And when you switch this, when you mix this, it's confusing. That's one part, but on the other side, homosexuality is natural, because you have a woman and a male energy in yourself. So if I take you two as an example, your male can fall in love with his woman part.
Okay.
So it makes this natural sense. But I believe that intrinsic intention is for a woman to be in a woman energy and teach a man his woman energy, and man can teach a woman her male energy and why it is good. When I was developing woman energy with myself, I became a little bit too soft, because it was too much of it. So you always have to bring balance and harmony in yourself. So that's the way to go. Definitely, we are not enemies. Today, someone wants to bring that in.
Yeah, that's the agenda to separate.
And my big pain, because of which I also started to do this intuitive work for business teams, is because when I was working, the work wasn't done because of personal issues. And I was like, come on, can't we be professional? Do you really have to be insulted? Do you really have to put down people? Why can you act more nice? Why can't you be more loving?
Yeah, I mean, the agenda we're talking about is to break family units, and I see especially in much younger population now, women, they're like, oh, I don't need men. And they're like, oh, I can do this, and they have like unrealistic expectation what a partner should do for them. But we're talking about extremes again. Like we're talking about, you know, like.
But it's a trend.
It's
You're
a
right.
trend.
It's a trend.
And because of the social media, it looks like there's a lot of women like that. But in my belief, that's like minority of them. It's just because you can show it on media like
because
that.
they are extroverts and they are heard.
Yeah, and they want to be heard and whatever. But yeah, I think it's a problem where women wants to do everything alone. Like, you know, like they want to be, like you said, too manly, too much in a man energy.
But here is so much pain.
Of course,
it's
because they go against themselves, yeah.
Because they go against themselves, but also because they are not heard. Because it's a male world right now, and they are right, and woman is emotional and hectic, and but when you have to change the state of consciousness, you bring in strong emotions, so you break that mold. And Slovenians are like right now in this century, we are afraid of emotions. Like we like shut them down, we push them away, and but it wasn't like this always. Like Slovenian ancestors, those 6,000-year-old nation as Slovenians are, the sex and the relationship between male and woman was very very highly respected and important to the society. And in this society you had women as leaders and you had male as leaders. So we have a lot of ancient wisdom in Slovenia, and my wish also is that would be taught in schools, not just the near past.
But if you want to do that, you need to. No. Listen to the end. I'm not laughing at it or making a joke, but you can't change the system. You need to make a parallel system. Because this system will not change. It is what it is. So accept it or don't. It's up to each person, right? You want to go follow that? Fine. It's fine. It's your decision. It's your free will. But if you really like, it needs to be separate economy. It needs to be separate school system. It needs to be everything separate. Like, so you need to. It's like, okay, you teach this, and I'm gonna go this path, and I'm gonna try this. But I think it's like, you know, but we are in times where you need to balance both, right? And one of the extremes people go, in my opinion, is like the health, the medicine world, where it's like, in one way, people take too many pills to solve their problems, but they're actually not. And the other, you have like family, especially younger ones, they're like, oh no, I'm not gonna take a baby to a hospital because I don't believe in hospitals or, you know, medicine or whatever. And I'm like, are you fucking stupid? Or, you know, to both of them, I'm like, shut the fuck up, right? Like, pretty much, like, if something's wrong with me and I need a surgery, I hope I go to the best hospital possible, right? But I don't want to take a pill for each stuff that bothers me. And I'm like, okay, here's like alternative medicine where thousands of years from, you know, each nation has their own variety of teas and remedies and what's or not, right? Like, okay, I have a headache. I'm not gonna take this pill, but let me try this tea from China or whatever, or Slovenia or whatever, right? So I think in that area is mixed, where when we talk about books and education, well, there I'm like more extreme, like, we need to rewrite all the shit, right? So that's my opinion.
Yeah, I agree that you cannot change someone that doesn't want to be changed, or is unable to change because it's too deep in the system. I get that. And I'm also a part of movement eco-civilization. And what also showed me is this. You basically don't have someone to speak to in the system that would like to go there because that's money.
Money, power, ego.
And if you are like short-sighted, you really don't go there. You won't go there. You can't go there, and it's okay. As you said, it's okay. One world and the other.
It's like the thing is like you can't save all of them. You can't change everybody. It's just like because we are in a times of age of information, right? If you want, you can literally learn anything you want. Anything you want to learn hacking, you go on YouTube and you learn hacking if you are willing to sit 10 hours, 20 hours and you learn hacking. I'll give you an example, right? So if you have a belief about something, right, and you're presented with information that this might be true, so your life suddenly changed. Your perception of your life is like, oh, I lived a lie all my life. So now it's up to you. Are you willing
to
dig in? Because once you go to that rabbit hole, you're fucked. Like, because I went to that rabbit hole 15, 16 years ago, and you go from I don't believe it to fuck it to like I want to close the parachute back. And then I remember, I don't know, that's about 3-4 years into this rabbit hole, was a moment where I had to decide. Like, I knew I can't go back to that mentality, but I was like, do I go further? Like, or I don't know. At that point, I was like, for me, was that decision. Now I know that, I had to go further, like, move more forward with that. But like, it was like, I don't know if I want to do this more because like, it was just so many information. The world around me just crumbled. Everything that I believed in crumbled. But then what happened is like, suddenly you see patterns. When you see economy, you see this, you see that, and you see just like different aspects of life, and it's just like a puzzle. And it's like, oh, okay. And then you're like, oh, okay, now it's easier. But until that point, at least for me, it was like,
it's a race, and that's also I think the basic problem that people don't see through this. It's just too much information, everything is like that, and so you don't even bother with the real stuff, the truth, the real history actually at the end of the day.
Yeah, and you felt safe all your life.
Yes.
Because you believed in the system.
Yeah.
It gave you safety, and you don't want to believe that this is broken.
But it was a fake safety.
Yeah, but still safety, because when you're in the middle of this rabbit hole, suddenly you find out that you are not safe, that you're losing ground, that you're losing job eventually. That this, until you get aware that you're, what you said, nice being, a great being, and you're capable much more than you thought. So, and I believe many people today are in this moment of seeking, of finding out that they are strong and capable, and
Yeah, everything that you find out in your mind or in your consciousness or in your being, it has to be brought down into the body. Until comes to your body, to your 5 senses, you don't believe it. It's just imagination, it's just some, what is the most common word when people are learning intuition is, that's not true, that's that's just something that came through my mind. It has no relevance. It's like stupid. And the base of this is the lack of self-belief. When you start believing in yourself, in your magnificence, then you start seeing patterns because it starts making sense. You start using your intelligence. But when do people believe that something is wrong with the system is when they feel it on their body. Not before. When the hormones that they were using in chicken in 70s, when the girls will start getting hair and stuff that I won't mention, then they stopped to the level that wasn't shown anymore. But you know, what's Monsanto doing in Europe? That's crazy, and stuff like that. So eyes wide shut. Free will. And you said it, you work with those who are ready. Sometimes I feel like I'm Morpheus when I come to companies. You know, those that are ready are wake up and start working with me. Those who are not, it's...
You cannot force anyone.
Right
you don't
now,
want to be forced.
And also, when I was in my 30s, I was there with them. I wasn't awake. So
for me it was like I had to learn, like, because I was like, you know, about the things we're talking about now, and I was telling people, and people just like didn't want to hear, and I was like, I just had to learn, like, to shut the fuck up. You know why? Not because I was wrong, but because I was losing my energy, and I just accepted, like, and that doesn't mean that I stopped hanging out with them. It was a great time. I just didn't talk about it. I just accepted, like, when I go to this place, I'll be talking about this and this and that. But when I want to have conversations like we have now, for me, it was really hard to find those people. And a lot of times I was really alone. So I spent a lot of time online, just reading about it and watching podcasts on this, and I was like, okay, and then I was communicating online with people on
searching for answers.
Searching for answers, and now I'm putting these answers, like, we're putting this on the website, beside that, how to help people raise their consciousness. And at the beginning, when we started, it was just like, for me personally, this changed in the last week in my mindset, was to like how to help people healing, you know, like through ayahuasca, through DMT, through whatever. We had guests that you know, we had Nea, we had Uchka, they helping with in their each way. But for me now, it's like I see a picture that changed for me, and it's like, okay, we need to introduce history. We need to introduce other topics that we're talking about now, and show, like, okay, but especially history is something that, like, I really wanna show in because there's so much new history that is, like, you know, and this is something we talked about. I was yesterday. We were yesterday with Srečko.
Day before.
Or the day before.
Yeah.
Okay, we were the day before. So this is like, we had idea, so we're gonna go in that way, but it's like, actually raising consciousness is like so much, it's just like every aspect of life, actually. And you never know what will do for somebody, because maybe somebody is awake in some parts, but they just need like one click, like they never even thought about it, that is different. And it's like, you know, maybe it's like somebody's in love with history. I was never in love with history. It was like, I don't give a fuck. Like, honestly, I was like, nah, why I have to learn this, right? Now I'm like, okay, now I'm learning. But like, in school I was like never interested. But there's like a person who was like, oh, this is it, right? So I'm giving an example now. But if I show this person, like, hey, here are new information And he goes like, oh shit. And this is something he believed in all his life. So this domino effect will go, oh wait, but if this is not true, what else is not true? You understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I want to now relate to your self-belief, because it's very important, or it's a basic of starting your personal growth. I believe how you can start believing in yourself if you're living in the system which is everything the same and history, etc. Going from my personal experiences, when I learned that Slovenians were much earlier in this place, and we are not the small nation, the nation who was always like that and not important. When I learned that we were actually the opposite, something moved in me. And from this point, I'm now much stronger, and I can now much quicker learn and raise my consciousness at the end of the day. So it's very important that you brought up this history. So I think the history is important, and I never understood before. If you want to go further, you need to understand the history. I didn't understand it before. Now I
Where
feel
you
it.
come from.
Where you come from.
The roots are so important.
Yes.
I experience how the roots are important because I come from a different part of Slovenia that I'm living now. And now I'm living in the part of Slovenia more time than I was in my hometown. But when I come into my hometown, it's like my being gets so empowered. And then I also, this feeling of mine confirmed scientific research that said that people that stay in their hometowns, they develop much further. And that it's very good for the community, for people not to go away. So it all comes down back to the history where there were those small communities, and they had very high arrangements of society, at least what we found out about Slovenians. And an interesting engineer, Slovenian, privately was researching the Slovenian history, and he wrote a book, The Roots of, like the story of Slovenians, of Slovenian roots. First part, he said. And he said, because when you write from love, there is never end. You just have to cut it, so you give a book out. And his name is Simon Prosen, and I have the answer for you around why you were not listening to your historians, because they were coming just from the rational level. They were not coming from their soul when they were like delivering those informations. And I still have why, for example, we loved certain teachers because they were like speaking from their heart, from their passion, with the whole being. They were living this information. And this is how Simon was also writing this book. He was checking the written history, he was checking the stories of our nation, and he was then intuitively checking the information if it was vibrating with his DNA. And the things, the patterns that he found out through his spiritual intelligence, then he wrote the things that he felt were true. And when you hear him talk, that's a very interesting experience. And this is what is the meaning of existence of a human being, that he operates on all his levels: physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual. It's not meant for us to be this physical, mental robots that do what they say and are safe and be safe and stay home. And That's
but
not
that's
human being.
the agenda, not so because of the control of us, right? So that's like we're going to that direction, and
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
there are interesting times definitely, and but again, focusing on the agenda and on the outside world is also the agenda.
yeah, of course.
Because the point is that I focus on my life. And this then goes together with all the aspects, with all the people. Because what my clients want is just get through the day and be a little more happy tomorrow than they were today, and just to get along with the people they love most, and to earn as much as they can so they can have a quality life. And they found out that the way the world and they worked till their 40s, it's not working anymore. And they know they have to find a new way, but they don't know what. So I show them. Because they are afraid. Because the belief is out that if you start balancing your energy, if you're not so much in this linear male principle, you cannot earn money, and that's the biggest BS. It's just advertising. Trust me, I've been there. But yeah, of course they are afraid. I'm afraid all the time. But life is pain management.
It is.
So this is why management is a good thing, because if you build a strong structure in your life, it helps you when you are weak. It supports you. So we need structure and we need content. We need both. We need male principle and we need woman principle. That doesn't mean we need men, we need women. No, that's in one person, are all both principles. But of course, if you want to be a woman, you are a little bit more of a woman.
And in the family, that's from my personal view, is important that both male and female energies are present in both parents, and therefore you can be strong and the whole as much as possible. Yeah? This is what you were saying 1 hour ago, yeah? That, setting apart the family,
Yeah.
I would say it's not good. It should be stay together, and then we can raise our children strong, set in self-belief, and they can really get faster with this consciousness.
Yeah, but like also like also parents needs to work on themselves, right? So it's not
That's
that.
the premise.
So it's like it goes both go.
Not needed.
No, they're perfect as they are, right? So no, I mean it's then we come to the things like when you're born, you choose your parents, you choose your place where you're born, you choose your mission, but you forget, right? Do you agree with that, or how is that your view?
I will express myself as yes, that is my belief.
Okay.
Because I don't know.
No,
But,
okay. Yeah.
Therefore, it's belief, yeah.
Yeah, that it's for its belief. It makes sense to me right now. But I always say I'm open.
Yeah,
If you have some new knowledge, if you have some new perspective, I'm open to feel it.
Yeah, I agree. But
And if it vibrates with my mission, I will bring it in. Because what we're doing in life is bringing in new knowledge and just broadening our perspective.
Yeah.
And having an open mind. This is what knowledge does. This is what books does. I basically, if someone would ask me what books have you read, I would say I don't know. Because it was just highlight and this wow moment and this reflection and oh yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know which book.
Yeah.
I just know what was my awakening through that?
Yeah, for me, like through reading the books, it's like I came to a point when I realized like, so I was like, I read a book and then I was like following the steps, right? And then it's like, oh, it's not working, right? And it's like, just fuck. And then you go to another book and like then I was like, I came to a point that was quite early. As like, it's like, you know what? Just take what works for you, right? And that's from that moment. Each book, I mean, every book that I read is like that. Like, I'm like I read like one book like now in 2 days, all right? And I was like going through the first 20 pages, like I don't care about this, I don't care about it. I read it, was like I just went really and like that, and then I came to a point when I was like, okay, then it's like my heartbeat was just going like, okay, this is what I was looking for, right? And I was like, okay, and I took time and I was just like, okay, and I'm gonna read that part again because it's like, okay, now it needs to settle in me and just like, okay, but I need to read it again. But it's like, forget about it. Like, you don't need to know everything. Just like take that was like, okay, you will know it when you come to that point. It's like you're gonna be like, because for me it was like my life started flashing and it was like, oh, that's why I made those decisions. Okay, this is okay. It was like aha moment, and it was like 2 days ago, and I'm like still processing, and it's like and about the books, I agree. It's just like
it's about perspective.
I do think that books are just a means to an end, are just the tools on my path. Not just getting in and doing what it's saying, because then you are lost in your path, in your truth. You're just picking out whatever you said.
Because in the end, that's
the good stuff, you feel it, and maybe it's just one sentence is enough from one book and make click.
But no, in the end of the day, that's the author's story, life.
Yeah.
So that's not my life. It's just his experience and his belief of what is the best for him, what will work for him in the end of the day. You know, like same in a business, the business books I read, like, oh, I need to follow this process and I need to do this and that. And then I was like...
And this is just the opposite.
And now it was the same.
It's a paradox,
It's the same thing. And then I was like, okay. And I tried, doesn't matter, the book is great anyway, but like I was like trying to do exactly the guy did in his business, try to put it in mine. Then I realized like, okay, his business is not the same as mine. Okay, but what is working, right? Okay, what I can attach that to my business. And then when I start looking like that, I'm like, oh, okay, this is okay, this is okay, this is not working. And it was like the same thing. And like, if people, like, I hope they will, who's going to be listening to this, like, just take that from the book and move on, right? And not follow blindly. Like, that's the thing.
I was basically frustrated for the whole of my life because of that. And then when I went to the path of knowing who I am, it's like, Manica, you are made to not to follow the structure, but to basically destructure what doesn't work and build from the new information the new world.
Oh, that's good one.
The upgraded. We have to upgrade ourselves. That's the whole point. Don't complicate it, just do it. Just do it. This is also the sentence I hated. I can't do it. Just do it. Don't think. I'm a thinking person. I'm thinking. Stop thinking. Go to your heart. Shut up. What heart? It's a pump. It's nothing else.
Oh, I need it.
So this is where the meditation comes in. The mindfulness exercises and stuff like that.
When you talk to your clients, I mean, is it just like talking to them, or you give them like some exercise, or it's like, I don't know, read this book?
All of the above.
It's all of, okay.
It's all of the above. It depends where the level of consciousness is with the person. If he or she is at the start, I'm gentle, so we talk. and I'm slowly opening the perspective and zooming out. But if someone has a really high capacity, we go all in because he or she can do it. Because you as yin yang, you need cooperation of your ego mind, identity, and your true self. You can't do one without another because you are here in 3D. That's that. Things are changing. We have to raise our consciousness if we wanna have a great life. And what is my mission also is to show business women and men that they can earn enough money to have a very beautiful life, although they are not bastards, selfish, or
because that's the perception of the money and people that have the money. It's not true. I met a lot of successful people in my life, and more successful they're more grounded. Really, I'm talking about really successful. I'm not talking about directors. I'm not talking about management. I'm talking about entrepreneurs that really made it from zero to the really richest. They were the most kind, the most grounded, the most respectful people I ever met. I have a question for you. Based on our conversation today, which book do you recommend me? Go running.
The book that I recommend for you.
Yeah, you can say it now, or you can
you
tell
personally.
Yeah, me personally, yeah.
For his level, of consciousness.
If you don't know it now, you can tell me later. It's not a problem, but just tell me. Oh, I'm not gonna like it. Like I already said.
It's a chick book.
Alright, tell me. I have no problem with that.
It's very.
It's a chick book.
It's an old book.
Men are from Mars, women are from.
No, it's Louise Hay. Life is yours. Yeah, it's. I don't know why.
I'm gonna tell you why, because I was thinking about this book for about a month now. Because
you start reading it, or you
20 years ago, somebody recommended me this book. Exactly. And my ego was like, what the fuck you talking about? Seriously, I've been thinking about this book for over a month now. So now I just got my confirmation.
So your proposal is just
on point.
Hitting the.
Yeah, it's like I'm really like now like no. It's I'm just like you're spot on, like, because I was thinking about 3 days ago or 2 days ago about this book, and I was like, really? And I was thinking about that moment more than 20 years ago. Like, this woman was like, man, just read this book. Like, just you need this book. Like, you need this book. I was like, nah. You're spot on.
So, you showed now the way how you are working. look the reaction,
Yeah, he got some color.
That surprised me. It surprised me about that one. I was not expecting it.
Yeah. We at home, we are a little bit movie freaks, or how do you say? Yeah. And once some great actor said, I live for this shit. No, it was Vin Diesel in Fast and Furious. And it's really, my work is, I live for this shit. I live for you to find out how beautiful everything is connected for you, not against you. So that's really something that I want to deliver them. That's everything is exactly. I also hated the sentence. Everything is exactly. It should be really.
Yes.
Really. I've gone through some serious stuff in my life, and it's very hard to find this sentence calming. when someone says that. But again, let's zoom out. Let's see the big picture. And then we will see that also how insignificant we are when we think that we are so important that I may not make a single mistake, to the fact that you are like hugely important. But the real you.
Yeah, the real.
It's really important. I hope that fake it till you make it will soon
fade away. Yeah.
Because it doesn't work.
No, it doesn't
for a
work
long
anymore.
time, it doesn't
Yeah.
work anymore. So stop trying.
Yeah, good one.
Yeah.
You got a question?
Not really. You know, it's just the way it has to be.
Yeah, it's fading out. The conversation.
No, I'm like, I was like, yeah, it was good. Alright, so where can people find you? Tell us your website.
My website is Soulstoryline.com.
Okay.
My name is Manica Čelofiga, so you can Google me.
Yeah.
I'm on the Facebook,
Yeah.
on LinkedIn. I
Can you
think
just tell us-
my number is up there.
No, your link will be in the YouTube
Yeah.
description and everywhere, and on our website. But okay, can you just tell us like what kind of classes, programs do you have?
I actually have individual programs for basically everyone who would like to know themselves, and if they want to make business out of their life purpose, even better, because that's my passion also. If they want to balance their career, if they want to upgrade their current position in a firm, so I'm a project manager but I want to be director, there are some initiation, let's say like this, or qualifications on a personal level that you can easily get there. So individual programs, and I also work with teams. So the company has some ideas of how they would like to get their teams working together better, and we just see where are the blockages, and we work on them, because they are ready to work on them. They want to work on them. They want to lose them. They want to excel.
Yes. You mentioned before that you're also working with students. You have a program for students.
I have a program, individual program for students, not with
okay.
groups. But if they come up with a group,
Why not?
I'm open. It's ever evolving business model.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Good. Anything else? Any other questions? Anything further?
For the end.
Okay. So what's your goal?
Wow. You know what your are like your capital. So you remember it.
I remember it because I was thinking about some time ago. Mainly you're working with leaders, yeah? With owners, leaders.
And who want to be a
who
leader.
want to be a leader, yes. And what's the reason you choose this way? Because you could teach everybody, yeah? Not teach help, let's say.
So why I concentrated on
Yes.
leaders? Mainly because this is also optimization of my impact. So if I impact on a person, that has a lot of impact on others, I really did a great job. I did more.
More for the
More
people.
for
that-
humanity.
Yes.
Yeah, because for a few decades in business, there is evolution of the business models from autocracy to the divisions or let's say net organization models. But if you want to have this dynamic flat organization, you need empowered people. You cannot do this with followers.
Yes.
So we need leaders. I have to be leader of my box, whatever that is. However narrow my responsibilities are, I just have to be responsible for myself at my post. And responsibility is something that I want to bring into people. It's empowering being responsible. Today in business, no one is everyone is afraid to say that they made a mistake because they will be punished. So it's like a vicious circle, but yeah, this is why. I want to impact as much people in one action.
Yeah, and you go from top down because it has bigger impact, greater impact than going from the.
Because why people are afraid to say, I don't know that, I don't know how to do that, and maybe there is a culture in a company that people are allowed to express themselves, but they haven't organized or they haven't managed that system in a way that they would support this employee to get the knowledge. So being empowered employee, first it has to be empowered director. It doesn't go the other way.
It makes sense.
No, it doesn't. Empowered employee leaves a company, and this is why the best people leave the company because of this perception that is in the people. So let's evolve with employees together.
Yes.
This is the same thing as learning from the child. My girls taught me the world because they have the new software.
They see. I had this conversation just with my friend about his sons, and yeah, we just everything you said just now. We had the same conversation. I'm not gonna go into details, but but same. He realized he needs to learn from them too, and I have one more question, and then I'm interested because you mentioned this before because we met a couple of months ago. Eco-civilization organization.
Yeah.
What's that? You're part of it.
That's intuitive organization in development.
Okay.
So our intention is that when we build eco-civilization, right now there are 5 pillars.
Okay.
That hold this thing together, and one is consciousness, so learning about consciousness and levels of self-awareness. There is understanding all the beings that exist. Then there are relationships with myself and with others. The society. And the 5th is the space, surrounding environment. Those are the pillars in which we organize lectures or interviews with interesting people that know this knowledge, not just from the rational level, but down to
And how then do you spread this knowledge around?
There is a webpage
Okay.
where ecocivilization.eu, and there are events that are mostly online that we organized, and right now this organization is spread globally into 40 countries, so people are really interested in bringing on one spot the knowledge about how can we live together, how can we live better, can we evolve, are we going to make it this time?
Yes.
Yeah, can we do it?
Oh no, we're gonna. We will.
Yeah, well,
We will. We already did actually, but no. Okay,
No,
this is
it's
another
not-
topic.
no, because
It's
I
another
know-
topic. He knows what I'm
we
talking
gotta wrap it up.
Yeah, we're gonna
Wrap
wrap
it
it because we can do this another time. We can have a second part, but Manica, thank you very much. All the
Thank you.
information will be on the website and everything. So it was
Thank
a
you.
pleasure. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for inviting me.
Okay. Cool.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.